Welcome to Art Time with Miss Anderson. So today we are going to talk about Google Photos and how to add your data portrait and your actual portrait into Google Photos and give it just a few basic edits. Okay, so what I've done is I've gotten a few emails from kiddos too. So I've emailed myself these pictures. So if you email yourself the photo, it should come in as a JPEG file. But we're going to store them a little bit differently in art class this year, which is we're going to store them in Google Photos. To set up your Google Photos account, you're already logged into Google, and you'll see here it says sign in, so it'll look a little bit like that. Okay, it'll come up like this. My Google Photos is already set up. So when I click go to Google Photos, you'll see photos, album, etc. Yours will give you a little message saying Google Photos is there for all your photographic needs. So here we are, we're in Google Photos, and I have a bunch of work in here already, but you do not, which is totally fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the albums up like that. We're going to come back to the email, and here we see it says save a copy to photos. So I'll save a copy to photos here. Save a copy to photos here. Same thing here. I have these photos right here. This one I have not saved. Save a copy to photos. Now when I go into Google Photos, these photos are going to appear. The problem is that this photo over here, I took a while ago, and Google tends to organize by the date. So that is why we want to right away come in albums. Okay, and you're going to go to create album, say Art 1 Portrait. I'm just going to go ahead and click return, and then I can go to add photos. I can add these photos right here. Aha, this one. Okay, and then I'm going to click done. All right, now all these photos are popping up here. This one I have edited in the iPhone already. So then if I come over here, I can actually just wait right here, and all of these edits are going to pop up and make it, I don't know why it's taken, there we go, okay, and make it so that I can edit these exactly like you can in Instagram, and you can even take the slider and change it up a little bit. I actually am a huge fan of this particular edit, so I will leave it like that. So let's come back to one that's completely unedited but taken in the open shade. We are going to want to have a nice clean black and white photo for this. I'm liking the onyx so far. Let's try this one and the vista. Ooh, the vista is pretty cool too actually, but let's try the onyx, the Eiffel. I'm going to go with the onyx. I like a little bit of the brightness, but I know I like a little more contrast, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to bring up the brightness a little bit. I like the way the blacks are brought up. I could even add a little vignette. Okay. Color won't apply to as much for this. We'll get into that later. Pop. And then let's say that I really want it to look more like a headshot. So I'll bring that in a little tighter like that. And bada bing, bada boom. I've got a nice headshot that I can put in the Google Sites of my beautiful daughter. This actually also works really well for editing some of your artwork. So that is something where you can kind of just come in and say, well, where does it look best? I think it looks really good right there. I'm just going to bring down the contrast actually, and up the pop. And here is where I can come into color, and I can saturate those colors a little bit. I'm going to decrease the warmth, and then I am going to crop it down to only exactly the size of the artwork itself. I don't know why it wants to. There we go. Okay. Okay. So these are some things to play around with and experiment with. In Google Photos, we have these really great editing tools. This photo is taken outside. This is taken inside. I do always think that the photos taken outside come up a little bit better in the open shade. So that is how you take a photo, import it into Google Photos. Go ahead and bookmark that. Mine is bookmarked right up here so that you have that. You can go directly into it. You won't need to sign into it in the future. And this is a great storage device for all of the beautiful artwork that we are going to make in Art 1 this year.